Imagine this. You sit down, ready to devour a steaming bowl of ants climbing a tree. The aroma's amazing, the sauce is rich, but then the noodles fall flat. Literally, they snap halfway through your bite and catapult sauce onto your last clean shirt. And right there, in that moment of chewy disappointment and soy sauce stains, you realize sweet potato noodles might not be the holy grail we once thought. Now, don't get me wrong, sweet potato noodles have earned their place in the culinary spotlight. They're glossy, chewy, and just translucent enough to make your stir-fry look like it came from a trendy underground food market in Seoul. But sometimes, looks can be deceiving. Underneath that photogenic glow, these noodles can be surprisingly one note. They soak up flavor like a waterproof raincoat, which is to say, not at all. They sit there, gorgeous, but mute, like a dinner guest who looks the part, but has nothing to say. And here's the kicker. There are noodles out there unsung. Underdog noodles that can elevate your ants climbing dish from pretty good to, whoa, what is this? We're talking noodles with crunch, with bounce, with character. Noodles that don't just carry sauce. They flirt with it, absorb it, enhance it. And yes, they exist beyond the sweet potato. Over the next few minutes, we're diving deep into noodle nirvana. I'm going to let you in on 3 unexpected, unconventional, borderline rebellious noodle swaps that will completely change how you make ants climbing. One is green, is almost 0 calories. And one might make your grandma question your life choices, until she tries it. This isn't about gimmicks or food fads. This is about real flavor, real texture, and real fun in the kitchen. Because, let's face it, food should surprise you once in a while. It should make you raise your eyebrows, not just your blood sugar. So, if you're ready to take your favorite dish on a little adventure, buckle up. The noodles you're about to meet might just become your new pantry MVPs. You know, sweet potato noodles have become the default choice for ants climbing the way vanilla is for ice cream. Safe, classic, and kind of predictable. But let's be honest for a second. Hey, when was the last time you actually said, wow, these noodles made this dish unforgettable? Never. Yeah, me too. See? Sweet potato noodles have a little secret they're not telling you. They, really play nice with flavor. You can simmer them in the richest, spiciest, umami-loaded sauce and still end up with something that tastes like the sauce is on one side of the room, while the noodles are sitting quietly in the corner, minding their own business. That's not teamwork. That's a breakup waiting to happen. And it's not just about taste. The texture can be tricky too. Leave them a minute too long, and they go from pleasantly chewy to rubber band realness. And you cook them, and they snap like dry twigs. Okay? There as this frustratingly narrow window of perfection that feels more like a game of noodle roulette than actual cooking. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What you missing isn't just a better noodle. What you're missing is the thing I call the umami vacuum. It's that magical little pocket where noodle and sauce come together, not just to coexist, but to elevate each other. Some noodles just sit there, letting the sauce do all the work. Others, the good ones, lean in, soak it up, and say, let's make something delicious happen. And sweet potato noodles? WELL. They're more like the passive roommate who eats your leftovers and doesn't replace them. Not offensive, but definitely not pulling their weight. So, if you've ever felt like your ants climbing tasted like it almost got there, but something was missing, not crazy? It was missing something. And that something was a noodle that wanted to be part of the flavor conversation, not just crash the party in silence. Stick around because we're about to meet a few noodle heroes you probably never thought to invite into your wok. And trust me, they brought personality. Alright, now that we've gently roasted sweet potato noodles, with love, of course, let's talk about who's stepping up to take their place. And trust me, the competition is fierce, funky, and fantastically flavorful. Let's start with something slippery and slightly mysterious. Kelp noodles. seaweed in noodle form. Sounds like something out of a spa menu. I know. But here's the magic. They're low in calories, high in minerals, and have this beautiful crunch meat bounce texture that makes your mouth sit up and pay attention. And the way they absorb sauce, it's like they were made to be drenched in chili bean paste and garlic. They don't fight it, they become it. Think of them as the introvert who suddenly starts dancing once the right music hits. That's kelp noodles with the right sauce. Then there's shirataki, the so-called miracle noodle. Almost no calories, but don't hold that against them. These translucent little wonders are made from konjac yam and feel like a slightly springier version of glass noodles. You might have seen them labeled as zero noodles or ghost noodles. And yes, they kind of haunt your pan if you don't prep them right. More on that later. But once you give them a good rinse and dry fry, they grab onto sauce like a hungry backpacker grabs free samples. It's clingy in the best way. Feeling like going green? Literally. Ow! Zucchini noodles, or Zoodles if you're feeling zesty, are the underdog you didn't see coming. When you ribbon or spiralize them into thin, noodle-like strands, they bring this refreshing crunch that transforms the dish into something light, summery, and unexpectedly elegant. Imagine biting into a tangle of sauce-coated zucchini, where the heat of the chili meets the cool snap of the veggie. It's like your stir-fry took a vacation and came back with better boundaries. And while we're on the topic of veggie virtuosos, don't sleep on cucumber ribbons, especially when served slightly chilled with warm toppings. That contrast? Pure genius. They won't soak up sauce quite like traditional noodles, but they'll dance around your palate and keep things crisp and cool. Of course, if you still crave that carby comfort, we've got you covered. Buckwheat soba is earthy, nutty, and brings a grounding note to bold sauces. It's like the wise old friend who calms everyone down at the party. And then there's rice vermicelli, thin, quick cooking, and perfect for soaking up spicy, savory sauces. They don't shout, but they sure know how to listen. These are the noodle heroes that don't just show up, they contribute. They read the kind of noodles that make the whole dish taste like it finally found its voice. So, you've met the contenders: kelp, shirataki, Zoodles, soba, and a few crunchy curveballs. Now the real question is, how do you choose your perfect noodle for ants climbing? 'Cause let's be honest, not every noodle is a match for every mood, and some just don't vibe with certain sauces. It's kind of like dating. Some combinations are fireworks. Others feel like a job interview over lukewarm coffee. Let's start with texture, because texture is where noodles speak. Want that classic chewy, slurp-worthy bite? Buckwheat soba or shirataki might be your love language. If you're into something that bounces a little, playful, elastic, slightly unexpected, kelp noodles are your new best friend. Prefer something fresh, snappy, and clean? Go straight for zucchini or cucumber ribbons. They're like the cool breeze in a spicy dish, the kind of contrast that makes you go, wait, why is this so good? Now, let's talk about flavor harmony. Every noodle has its own personality. Some are shy, like shirataki, which don't have much taste on their own, but they soak up sauce like a sponge on a mission. Others bring their own attitude, like soba with its earthy undertone that pairs beautifully with anything spicy, salty mommy. Think of it like a band. Some noodles are backup singers, others grab the mic. But here's a pro tip. Don't just drop new noodles into your old routine and expect magic. Treat them right. Kelp noodles, for example, need a good rinse and a soak to soften them up. Shirataki. Give them a bath and a pan toss to shake off that rubbery mystery smell. Zoodles. Salt them lightly and let them sweat it out for a few minutes to avoid a watery mess in your wok. Yes, it's a bit of noodle TLC, but it's worth every second. Let's not forget portioning. Some of these noodles are lighter, lower in calories, or pack less density, so feel free to double the volume without doubling the guilt. Your bowl will look glorious, your stomach will be happy, and you'll still have room for dessert, or seconds, or both. What you're doing here isn't just cooking. You're curating an experience. You're reimagining a classic with ingredients that suit your taste, your nutrition goals, and, honestly, your sense of fun. Because cooking should be exactly that, a little creative, a little rebellious, and totally satisfying. You've made it all the way here. From questioning your sweet potato, loyalty to discovering kelp noodles that crunch like sea whispers and soba that hums with earthy jazz. And now, my friend, the kitchen is yours. This isn't just about swapping out noodles. This is about shaking the dust off your dinner routine, breaking a little tradition, and saying, yeah, I'll try something different. Because why not? Food doesn't have to be predictable. It doesn't have to be what you saw on a takeout menu or a blog from 2012. It can be whatever strange, wonderful, delicious thing you want it to be. So here's the challenge. Pick just one of the swaps we talked about today. Maybe the ocean bounce of kelp noodles, or the chill crunch of cucumber ribbons, and make your version of ants climbing this week. Don't worry about it being perfect. Cooking isn't a test, it's a conversation between you, the ingredients, and that little voice in your head that says, more chili, obviously? And when you do make it, snap a photo, drop it in the comments, or tag us. Seriously, I want to see your creations. Let's build a little army of noodle renegades out here, breaking the rules and loving every bite. Oh, and if you think this was fun, just wait until next time. We're diving into 5 totally unexpected ingredient hacks that'll change your stir-fry game forever. Like, why didn't anyone tell me this 10 years ago? Kind of hacks. But for now, go get your noodles. Get weird. Get bold. And most importantly, get cooking.